welcome to our special virtual cruise night with AmaWaterways. My name is Mike Robb, and I'm delighted to be your guide for this evening's journey through some of the world's most enchanting waterways. We're thrilled you've chosen to spend your time with us here at Sea&Son Travel, your dedicated travel consultant. Allow me to give you a quick snapshot of who we are. At Sea&Son Travel, we pride ourselves on being more than just a travel agency. We're certified river cruise experts, equipped with extensive knowledge and personalized insight into the cruising world. It's not just theoretical experience either. We have the privilege of experiencing AmaWaterways' exceptional offerings firsthand. The elegance, the curated excursions, and the world-class cuisine. Every element contributed to a trip that was nothing short of fabulous. We offer this level of intimate knowledge across a wide range of travel experiences, from luxury getaways to cultural explorations. Before we dive into tonight's presentation, I'd like to pique your interest with an exciting deal. We have an exclusive promotion that we're eager to share with you, but you'll have to stay to the end to find out what it is. Trust me, it will be worth the wait. Now, without further ado, allow me to introduce my amazing co-host for this evening, Rob Huffman from AmaWaterways. Together, we're committed to making your travel dreams a reality, and thank you for joining us, and we look forward to exploring the world with you. Rob?
So much, Mike. Hi, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are, or perhaps what time of day you might be watching this. As Mike shared, my name is Rob Huffman. I'm the business development manager with AmaWaterways, and I cover the southeastern United States. And this evening, we're delighted that you're spending some time with us. We're excited to go through and share with you a little bit about who we are as a company, a little bit about river cruising. We're going to talk this evening about hardware, software, our fleet. We're going to talk about destinations. We're going to talk about a really nice itinerary that Mike has chosen to share with you this evening. And then, as he alluded to, he teased, we've got some pretty nice deals out there for you as well. So we're going to go through this evening and just kind of share with you a little bit. But in these settings, very, very often I'm asked, Rob, is it AmaWaterways? Is it AMA? Is it an acronym for something? What exactly is AmaWaterways? And we are AmaWaterways. And at AmaWaterways, we believe that AMA stands for love. And within our company, within our organization, everything that we do starts with these three people that you see here. The love, if you will, flows from them down to our shipboard and shore staff crew, or shipboard and shoreside staff, I should say. But this is our ownership team. The gentleman on the left is Rudy Schreiner. Rudy's largely considered the godfather of river cruising. The lady in the middle, Christine Karst, is also a member of our ownership team, along with Gary Murphy. Everything these three people do, everything our company does, starts with these three people. And the love that is AmaWaterways truly does flow from them. Every decision, believe it or not, they read every single customer survey that is completed by our guests. But we can sit here this evening and talk about river cruising in general. And we want to talk about some of the things that make river cruising such a fantastic option in today's travel marketplace. I personally like to compare an AmaWaterways river cruise to that of a land-based, an upscale land-based escorted tour throughout Europe. But I'm a little biased. I think we have a leg up on those land-based tours, and here's my philosophy as it relates to that. If you've ever done one of those tours, you know you go pretty hard all day long. You get back to your hotel room, 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the evening. You have just enough time to get your new clothes out of your bag, put your old clothes in your bag, put your bags outside by your door because you've got to be downstairs at the crack of dawn the next morning to hop on a motor coach for a couple of hours. Well, when you sail the AmaWaterways rivers, not only are you sailing in luxury on one of our beautifully appointed vessels, but you're also sailing the highways of yesteryear without that hassle of packing and unpacking. We visit a lot of, if not all of, the same destinations those land-based tours do. You just don't have all those hassles of packing and unpacking or motor coach after motor coach. In addition to that, another great advantage of river cruising is the fact that we pull right into the heart of the destination the overwhelming majority of the time. You're not waiting in line with 1,000 of your closest friends these days. These days, ships have significantly more than that, the ocean-going vessels. You're not waiting to get off of your ship onto another watercraft that takes you into port. We literally pull right into the heart of the destination. We lower the gangway. You take 2 dozen steps, and you're in the city center in Amsterdam. You're looking at the gorgeous Dom Cathedral in Cologne. You're at the foot of the chain bridge in Budapest on the Danube River. They're just right. It's all about the destination. That's how we sum up river cruising at AmaWaterways. Our philosophy is that oceans take you to countries, rivers take you through countries. If you've taken an ocean cruise, you know you likely go around islands or along the coastlines of countries. But again, when you sail the AmaWaterways rivers, you're sailing right through the heart of the destination. And therein lies how we really encapsulate what a river cruise is all about in 2 words: cultural immersion. It's about the opportunity for you to truly wrap your arms around the destination, to enjoy the traditions, the cuisines, the culture of the great places that we sail to. Now, Mike and I could spend hours upon hours with you this evening if we went through every one of these bullet points individually. We promise we're not going to do that to you tonight. We're going to talk about a lot of these bullet points throughout the course of the presentation. There's no doubt about that. We've already talked that we're family owned and operated. One of the things I like to highlight, though, on this slide as well is the fact that because we're sailing rivers, we have land on either side of the ship for the entire length of your sailing. We don't have that traditional motion of the ocean. So if you're one of those people that have concerns over motion discomfort, I've been on the river side of our business for over a decade, and I've been very fortunate to have taken a number of river cruises. Not one time have I ever heard a guest or a crew member say, "Oh, somebody has motion discomfort, someone's seasick." We glide upriver, we glide back downriver. But I'm hoping Mike will agree with me when we talk about we're going to talk about a number of things that really makes AmaWaterways special. But there really is one thing, I think, that stands out above everything else, and that is our staff and our crew. I'm amazed every time I sail. I'm very honestly amazed at how their number one goal is to exceed your expectations as our guests. The word no, it does not exist. They smile constantly. They're professionally trained, all English speaking. But it's amazing to me how, again, their number one goal is to make sure you leave happy, ready to book your next AmaWaterways cruise, telling all your friends and family about the great experience that you've had as well. Now, again, because we have that land on either side of the ship for the entire length of the sailing, it allows us to bring aboard local and regional entertainers. Of course, every evening, your entire length of your cruise, you'll have a pianist, a vocalist that's there to entertain for some dancing and other forms of entertainment. But we bring regional entertainers aboard. You might have a classic quartet that will come aboard and perform. My wife and I and family, we just got off of Rhine Cruise about 2 weeks ago. We had these fantastic, I won't call them dueling violinists, but they were a couple of violinists. It was really neat to see them perform. Might be a dance troupe that performs. During the holidays, it's not uncommon to see a children's choir come aboard and sing Christmas carols for you to get you into the mood of the season. In addition to that, one of the real points of distinction that separates AmaWaterways from some of our friendly competitors has got to be our cruise managers. They are so outgoing. They truly bend over backwards to accommodate any request that you might have, whether it's a reservation at a local restaurant for lunch, whether it's seeing a site or visiting a venue. They're there to make things happen for you. In addition to that, when you sail with AmaWaterways, you have the opportunity either before or after your cruise to extend your time in the destination in what we refer to as pre or post-cruise extensions. These are land-based, include tours, some meals, things of that nature. Traditionally in our industry, a tour company will take you around while you're on those pre or post extensions. But when you're with AmaWaterways, we're committed to a little different level of service. Our cruise managers are with you the entire time. That's very, very uncommon in the industry, but just an example of how we do things a little bit differently at AmaWaterways. Another area we tend to do things a little bit differently is all of our ships throughout Europe and Southeast Asia also have wellness instructors aboard. If you enjoy Pilates or yoga or stretching or perhaps even spin classes, some of our ships offer, it's there and available if you'd like to participate. There are even a couple of mornings, Mike. I don't know if you experienced this on your recent cruise, but we offer champagne yoga a couple of mornings. That's a great way to get the day started for sure. A big area of differentiation when we talk AmaWaterways versus some of our friendly competitors is shore excursions. Now, if you've taken a river cruise or perhaps researched river cruising, then you're likely very well aware or you've heard a shore excursion is included in every port of call. And that is very, very true. But what you might not have heard from some of our friendly competitors is that oftentimes they only offer one shore excursion, and it's a city tour. They have other tours that you can take advantage of. It's going to cost you a little bit more money. Typically, those optional tours they offer run anywhere from $50 to $200 per person per tour, depending on the destination. Not the way we operate at AmaWaterways. We're not going to nickel and dime you. When you sail with AmaWaterways, you can choose between 2 and 6 shore excursions in every single port of call. We offer hiking, biking, wine tastings, beer tastings, Epicurean experiences, city tours, museum visits. I mean, the list literally goes on and on and on, all included in the cost of your cruise. We're not going to nickel and dime you again when you sail with AmaWaterways.
And Rob, I'd like also, please, just like to mention too, one of the great things that we saw was with the hikes and the city tours, especially the city tours, there was the easy walking tour, the regular tours, they even had a staff-based tour. And the bikes were pretty much on every single excursion. So it was really awesome to be able to do what you want to do on a given day.
Are you taking a look at my presentation? Because you're jumping right in. I love the fact you're doing that. But I couldn't agree with you more, right? So one of the things we recognize at AmaWaterways is the fact that not all of our guests are cut from the same cloth. So to Mike's point, we offer different activity levels in each port of call. If you're the type of person that you know, I want to move at a little slower pace. I don't want as many hills, as many cobblestone streets, but I still want to see everything that everybody else does. We offer a gentle walker tour that you can take advantage of. Regular walker tour is pretty self-explanatory, but to Mike's point again, if you want to move at a little faster pace, a little quicker, get the heart pumping, the blood racing, we offer an active walker tour you can participate in as well. There are even a couple of days throughout the week where we offer a late riser tour, so you can sleep in without that FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. And again, Mike's spot on. I swear, I think he's looking at my presentation. Our bikes are a huge hit with our guests. Now, I will start by saying this, 2 things very quickly. Number one, this is not a race. It's not the Tour de France. It is a very leisurely bike ride that's very enjoyable. It could be 5 miles. It could be upwards of 30 miles. But I'm always, again, pretty amazed at the different activity levels and ages of the people that participate in these bike tours. We have a tour guide at front, tour guide at the back. Rob's full disclosure, these are the good old-fashioned kind of bikes. You know what I'm talking about, right, Mike? You got to pedal them to make them go. So they're the real kind of bikes. So a couple other things we offer: complimentary Wi-Fi as well as the My AmaCruise app. The app itself has all of your eDocs, all of your shore excursions, has all of your daily activities, everything you'd want right in the palm of your hand, as well as a live itinerary tracker. You see that gentleman on the left in the red sweater? One of my favorite things about river cruising is, again, because we have that land on either side of the vessel, you're passing these beautiful, charming towns and villages or castles or landmarks or sites. And you oftentimes, at least I've caught myself doing this, wonder, that's a really charming church. Where the heck am I? With the live itinerary tracker, you just look right on your phone. You know exactly, you can zoom right in, see exactly where you are. So that's a pretty neat little tool. When it comes to Wi-Fi, we're a bit unique. We do things differently at AmaWaterways. We have access to that land, and as a result, we have access to 5G connectivity. Our connectivity tends to be much more reliable, much more quick, and the connectivity is pretty seamless versus others that continue to use satellites where it's can be drag at times and a little spotty, I guess is the best way to say that. So great things, both the app and the Wi-Fi. Now, when it comes to food, Mike spoke of this in his introduction, and this is something that we just take tremendous pride in delivering exceptional Epicurean experiences for our guests. Just like all the cruises that you may have taken in the past, all of your meals and snacks when you're aboard the ship are included. We also include beer, wine, and soft drinks with lunch and dinner. If you want that mimosa at breakfast, we can make that happen for you too. But we don't stop there. We're very proud. We were very humbled to have been invited to become members of Le Chien de Rôtisseur. If you're not familiar, Le Chien de Rôtisseur is one of, if not the highest, culinary recognition that a travel industry, a hospitality organization can receive. Every one of our AmaWaterways ships have this recognition. So that sets the bar pretty high right there when it comes to your dining overall. But again, we don't stop. We have our own little spin on alternative dining. You know, if you've taken an ocean cruise lately, you know, you have your main dining room, right? And then oftentimes ocean lines these days will offer alternative dining. It might be a steakhouse or Asian fusion or a spin on Italian, something. And oftentimes they charge a surcharge to dine in these venues. At AmaWaterways, our spin, if you will, on alternative dining is our Chef's Table specialty restaurant. 6 to 7 course meal, multiple wines shared throughout the course of the evening. Our chef will come out and he or she will speak to each course, preparation, presentation, ingredients, the wine that's paired with it, and why. At least one time throughout the course of your cruise, you will have the opportunity to enjoy the Chef's Table specialty restaurant included in the cost of your cruise. There is no surcharge to enjoy this experience. We get pretty high marks on our dining overall. When our guests speak about our Chef's Table, it's through the roof. It really is a wonderful experience. Now, no other river cruise line offers anything like this. If they did, I would speculate it would be $50 to $100 per person. It really is that kind of an experience. It's absolutely wonderful, if not more expensive.
Will not leave hungry either.
No, I promise you, no question. Now, when it comes to the fleet, we won't spend too much time on this particular slide. As it sits today, we have 25 ships sailing the legendary rivers of the world. I do want to point out one thing in the very bottom right-hand corner you'll see there, and I don't share this with you to impress you, rather to impress upon you. We do own all of our ships debt-free. The reason that's important is because, well, Mike and I have seen over the course of the past 3-4 years navigating the pandemic, we've seen companies that we would have never thought would have been unable to financially navigate the pandemic, but they weren't. And so they were unable to survive and no longer in business. You don't have that worry when you sail with AmaWaterways. We're a very fiscally responsible, a very financially stable organization. This is probably my favorite slide in the entire presentation. I like this slide on a number of different levels. First, gives you an idea of what one of our typical river vessels looks like. And it might surprise those of you to learn that have never taken a river cruise, especially throughout Europe. All of our ships, AmaWaterways, other river cruise lines, travel companies, products, brands, whoever, all the river ships sailing the Rhine, the Main, the Danube River, they can only be this long and this wide. Why is that, Mike? You want to tell them why?
The lock. The several
locks. We navigate locks going up and down the rivers. And some of the locks we pull into are pretty tight. I mean, you can sit right on the edge of your balcony or up on the sun deck. You can reach over and touch the wall of the lock very easily. Why is this important to you that all of our ships are the same size? Well, it's important because at AmaWaterways, we accommodate 25 to 30% fewer guests than some of our competitors. What's it mean? Well, it means smaller tour groups, number one. It means we have bicycles, a chef's table, a beauty salon, a fitness room, a swimming pool. It means that I believe it lends itself to a higher level of service as well. So it really is not for us. It really is not for us about putting as many people on the ships as we possibly can. Rather, making sure that we take great care of those that are with us. A couple other quick shots give you an idea of the ships and what the interior will look like when you join us. This is one of our signature accommodations, our twin balcony. You'll notice over the bed on the left there is our veranda, your traditional veranda. You grab your wine and your book, you walk outside, sit down, enjoy the fresh air, the sights, sounds, and just the scenery of the river. Above the champagne bucket and the chair on the right is another balcony, but it's a French balcony. A French balcony, the doors open, you just cannot walk out, but it allows that fresh air to come into your stateroom. Easily one of our most popular accommodations. Just to give you an idea of the decor throughout the vessel's main dining room, breakfast, lunch, and dinner a la carte. This is our panoramic lounge and bar. This is the heartbeat of the vessel. This is where all the action takes place. You can have a casual breakfast or a lunch here if you'd like. The entertainment we spoke of earlier as well takes place in the lounge. Every evening, about an hour, hour and a half before dinner, we have our sip and sail happy hour. We mentioned beer, wine, and soft drinks are included with lunch and dinner. During happy hour, all of your beverages are included. So if you want that vodka soda, that gin and tonic, that margarita, it's included during our happy hour. But probably the most important thing that happens here, and it happens every day, is when our cruise managers come in. They speak to all the guests about the present day and the coming day. Did you enjoy your time in this port of call today? How many did the bike tour and so forth? Tomorrow, we arrive in our next port of call at 8 a.m. The first tour will depart at this time, the gentle walkers at this time. So it becomes very informative for our guests as well. Beauty salon we mentioned just a little while ago. Again, just take a look at the decor, how clean, crisp, and contemporary throughout the vessel it truly is. Many of our vessels, most in fact, have a heated swimming pool, many of which will have the swim-up bar like you see here. And then we offer other accommodations. We've already spoke about the twin balcony, but we range in square footage from 170 to over 700 square feet. Obviously, over 700 square feet are going to be suite accommodations. We have French balcony-only accommodations. At minimum, every one of our staterooms offers a river view. There are no inside, no interior accommodations on any of our vessels. And we have a limited number of triple and quad as well as connecting staterooms for you to enjoy. Now, when it comes to destinations, AmaWaterways, we like to say we sail the legendary rivers of the world. And I'm hoping you can see my cursor here. I'm going to get it over here in the bottom left corner in Portugal. We sail the Douro River, one of our most popular itineraries. We're on just about all the rivers throughout France. We sail the Bordeaux region, Provence, Paris down to south of France. Lyon to the south of France. We sail Paris out to the beaches of Normandy, obviously very popular for tremendous historical value. Top left corner, in November of next year, we're going to launch a brand new itinerary on the Magdalena River in Colombia, South America. Really excited about that. We reopened Asia right at a year ago on the Mekong River, Vietnam, Cambodia. We started Egypt about 2 years ago. It's been so popular. In fact, we're adding a second ship on this itinerary in 2024. And then we also sail South Africa, where we sail the Chobe River. It's more of a cruise tour combo. Spend a little time in South Africa, make our way to the Chobe River in the Botswana, Zimbabwe region. But our sweet spot, where you're going to find most of our ships, most of our itineraries, is right through the heart of Europe. You see Amsterdam here, the Rhine River sailing all the way through the Main Canal, down past Budapest, into the lower Danube, the Rhine, the Main, the Mosel, and the Danube rivers, just to name a few, is where you'll find most of our itineraries. And that happens to be an itinerary that Mike has selected for us to share with you this evening. I want to start by sharing. I mentioned a moment ago, I've been in the industry for a little over a decade, the river side of the business. I've been in the travel industry my entire career, 20 years on the ocean side, but delighted to be on the river side. When I first joined the river side of the business, Christmas markets was kind of a lost leader, right? It was, hey, these great Christmas markets, but it's getting toward the end of the season, and gosh, we just kind of put it out there. And fast forward to 2023, I can look at you today and tell you we might have this much availability left for Christmas markets this year. 2024 is already selling very quickly. It is a fantastically festive time of year. It's a beautiful experience to be over there. And my number one recommendation for you, should you choose to join us on this itinerary, take another bag with you, because these Christmas markets are so fun. Lots of food, lots of songs, lots of music, lots of gifts. You'll do some great shopping. You'll come home, you will definitely be in the festive spirit for sure. But this itinerary you see here will sail through 4 different countries: France, Germany, Netherlands, and Switzerland. We're going to start in start in Basel and work our way north up to Amsterdam. And when we talk about the Christmas markets on the Rhine, again, the scenery is just absolutely amazing. It's breathtaking. You're still going to take advantage of some of the great shore excursions that we offer year round. But in addition to this, every port of call we stop in will have their own unique and individual Christmas markets. It's a sight to see. That's the best way to say it. But not only ashore is it special. When you sail with us on the ships, when you're with us, we make sure to take advantage of the season as well. We have tree decorating. Of course, you have St. Nick. We have your shoes out for St. Nick, put a boot. You have a holiday dinner, all kinds of caroling, just great festive experience. But on this itinerary, we start in Basel, Switzerland. In Basel, you're going to have a couple of different opportunities for excursions. One of my favorites is a 3-country bike tour. Basel sits right at the where 3 countries meet. You have Germany, France, and Switzerland. To say you rode a bike through all 3 countries is a heck of an excursion. But probably my favorite excursion while you're in Basel is an opportunity to go to Lucerne. So if that presents itself, I would highly recommend it. Lucerne is just an absolutely gorgeous town, and one that will have yet again another unique Christmas market for you to visit. When we talk Strasbourg, it's certainly the capital of the Alsace region. This is where you're in France, but it has a little bit of a Bavarian feel as well. We offer just a lovely tour through this beautiful town and just a gorgeous cathedral with it's an atomic clock is what I think the way they refer to it, but it's amazing. It's centuries old and still operates today. It's inside the cathedral and quite a sight to see, but yet again, another magical Christmas market for sure. We eventually make our way to Ludwigshafen, and we dock in Ludwigshafen. While you're in Ludwigshafen, you have the opportunity to spend a day in Heidelberg, Germany. That's the castle you see in the background there. Heidelberg is known for its large university as well. We take you into Heidelberg, you tour the castle, you see some fantastic sights. Then we bring you back down to spend some time at the Christmas markets and certainly to enjoy all that Heidelberg has to offer. We'll make our way eventually to Rudesheim, Germany. Rudesheim is lovely. They're known for Rudesheimer coffee, which is a brand of brandy as well as some whipped cream. It'll warm you up, especially this time of year for sure. And there's a beautiful gondola that takes you over some vineyards up to just a site that you can look down over the Rhine River as well as Rudesheim. But it's a charming town with lovely small streets. While you're in Rudesheim, you also have an opportunity to visit Siegfried's Mechanical Instrument Cabinet. It's a museum of these very unique instruments dating back years and years, and many of which still work today. It really was a lot of fun. We had the opportunity on our recent Rhine cruise to experience the instrument museum as well. From there, we make our way to, I think it's the 4th largest city in all of Germany, Cologne. There are 7 Christmas markets in Cologne alone. The old market, the altar market, is when you visit this market, it has gnomes everywhere, every nook and cranny. Legend apparently has it that the House of Gnomes used to do all the daily work until the inhabitant's wife got kind of curious and attempted to get a glimpse, and then that's when they went off, never to return. But imagine 7 different Christmas markets as you go into each individual unique square and the opportunity to visit and enjoy. Then we eventually make our way to Amsterdam. And Amsterdam is known for their City of Lights. Imagine being out on one of the many canals in this iconic European capital where you're sailing and seeing all the beautiful Christmas lights, as well as one of my favorite Christmas markets. It's a very large one as well, being a big city that Amsterdam is. So all in all, I just can't say enough. You can hopefully tell my passion for this itinerary and for the Christmas markets themselves. I think Mike has chosen a real winner. And of course, here's his contact information. If you have any questions, his email address and his phone number with a little bit of information on the itinerary itself. But if I remember correctly, at the beginning of our presentation this evening, Mike, you alluded to some special promotions and perhaps a special offer for some lucky people.
Yeah, so we've got for this Christmas cruise, if you book by the end of this month, September 30th, you will get up to, depending on the room category, up to $150 of onboard credit that we, Sea and Sun, are giving you who book as an extra gift and thank you for booking this cruise. Also, on this cruise, we're already booked with our room. We already have other people booked as well. And so we're going to be on this cruise doing, if we get enough people, the most exciting part is we're going to try and get our own bus. We'll be able to maybe even do some of our own excursions and things like that. So that's the goal. But we're going on this because this isn't like your typical cruise where we're just booking people and saying, hey, have a great time. We love AMA so much after our cruise that we're doing one once a year. And we've chosen to do this one this year or for next year. But the other promotion we have is if you book any AMA River cruise, let's say Christmas markets isn't your thing, you want to go for a wine cruise, maybe a beer cruise, maybe you want to do a golf cruise, because AMA has those as well. Or you want to do something like maybe go down to the Chobe River and do Africa, or maybe do the Mekong, then we're giving you up to $100 of onboard credit for any river cruise booking that you make by September 15th, which is next Friday. So anyone who wants to reach out, contact us and want to book an AmaWaterways, we'll give you extra $100. That onboard credit can be spent at the bar when you're not doing the sip and sail, which we spent maybe $50 extra at night in the entertainment time. But between sip and sail and your lunch and dinner, you really don't need to buy anything. And you can use it on salon services, spa services, purchase your cool windbreaker or rain jacket in the gift shop. And they even, on our cruise we did on the Budapest, they had the optional Mozart concert in Vienna. And I'm sure you could apply that towards that as well if there's an optional excursion that they have on this cruise or any of the others. AMA is our preferred river cruise supplier for Sea and Sun. It's who we are working with the most for our river cruise experiences for our clients. And it's only on AMA that you're going to get these types of extra onboard credits that we're giving away.
You know, Mike, you bring up a great point. A couple of things real quick about those optional tours. And the concert in Vienna that you mentioned is one of about 4 optional tours that will cost more money. Typically, they're very unique tours, and the concert, we just have to buy that ticket, right? So we don't know how many will go, and so our guests have to purchase the ticket. Another example is in Africa. If you want to trek the silverback gorillas, we can make that happen. You just have to buy a permit. So they're very unique, typically very unique experiences. But I would say that 97% of our shore excursions are included in the cost of the cruise. So the odds are you're probably going to use your onboard credit in the spa, to Mike's point, or an after dinner drink. And you know, Mike, they can also use them for gratuities if they'd like. Absolutely. You can also apply the onboard credit to gratuities as well. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to do you one even better. What was your offer once again?
Oh, if you do the Christmas cruise, it's up to 150 for balconies, 100 for category C, and the category D is $50. If you book any cruise, it's $100 onboard credit up to based on suite, and then it goes down from there.
So I'm going to add $50 from my end to each one of those just to help subsidize that and add a little more if that's okay. You mind if we throw a little extra in?
Absolutely, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So we're happy to do that. We'd love to make this a success. We'd love to welcome you and your group on board with AmaWaterways. It's the time of the presentation where we kind of get to questions. Looking through the chat feature, I don't know that I see any questions, but oftentimes I'm asked, what's the attire, right? What do people wear when they're on a river? Is there formal nights like on some ocean cruises? And at AmaWaterways, we use the term country club casual. A golf shirt with slacks for dinner for the gentleman is more than the time of year. At Christmas time, you might want to take a sweater, but a button down. We just say no jeans, no shorts, no flip-flops, gentlemen, at dinner. My wife will take capris, a little black dress. She will wear sweaters as well, especially this time of year. During the day, we want you to be comfortable. So jeans are more than appropriate. Rubber sole shoes are very important with the uneven pavements, cobblestone streets, things of that nature. But again, we want you to be comfortable. Any questions that you can think of, Mike, that some of your clients may have asked you in the past about river cruising?
Yeah, food accommodation with regards to if you're diabetic, low sodium. And I will say from our experience, our cruise ship, we were able to sit with all types of cruisers throughout the time we moved around. One of the things with dining is it is not a set table where you sit at the exact same table every single night. You don't need to, you can sit with different people you meet on the different excursions. One night we sat with a gentleman who was for 6 months doing vegan due to health reasons. And we had pork schnitzel that night from Vienna. So we did the Wiener Schnitzel. And the chef actually made him a Wiener Schnitzel that was vegan. And every single meal was vegan that he had. There was only 1 or 2 times where they had to do a salad instead of the soup or something like that. But there were other people who had low sodium restrictions or no shellfish or no dairy. And every single time the chefs came out to make sure everything was good to go. They actually mentioned to me that they called about a week ahead of time and tried to get on some of the more restrictive diets, what they needed and what they would eat and not eat if the chefs made it. And so it was absolutely amazing to see the level of service. Another thing, and one of the pictures you showed with the cruise directors was Uvi, who was our cruise director, and just fabulous. We had a group of people from Spain and also Dominican Republic that spoke primarily Spanish. And except for the first day, every other day, he had organized a Spanish-speaking tour guide for them. Just off the top, they asked for it and he did it. So the one thing I want to impress on everybody, and the reason we love Ama so much, is because of the level of service. And it is a luxury experience without feeling over the top as you could get with some of the other lines that are super luxurious. During the day, I wore, and by the way, I want to say, how much do you pack for a summer trip in August? First of all, don't worry about the water levels as much because the locks help control that, which on the Danube at least, that was super kind of important for us. But we packed 1 carry-on in a backpack each for the trip. And what I would do is I would wear to dinner a polo shirt like I'm wearing, or a hiking shirt that was a collared button down. That night, the next day, I'd wear that on my tour. And so I get 2 uses out of the same shirt. And we were, for 10 days, we were able to use 3 pairs of slacks, a couple pairs of hiking shorts, and shirts for me. And the best part was we did laundry on board too. Not expensive at all. Just a couple of euros for a shirt or slacks. We did that a couple of times as well for the shirts we wanted to wear. And for the one final cruise night that was actually like 2 nights before when we did the captain's farewell dinner, I dressed up a bit more, but with a bow tie. But people were in there with, just like you mentioned, like golf shirts on or long sleeve shirts with no ties, no jackets. Winter time for this cruise in 2024, we're definitely going to be bringing a regular suitcase because we're going to need it with the jackets and the scarves for the cooler weather. But most of the time, the guests always talk about that. They also want to know about, our clients always want to know, you know, how late can they stay up, the age group. Now, I'm 45, and we were on the younger end. However, there were some kids on board that were teenagers that were there with their parents, and they had a fabulous time. We were always the ones closing down the bar around 11, 12 o'clock at night. But the service there was amazing. The 10:30 snacks that come out in the lounge. So if you want a little late night snack or a nibble, you can have that. Some people left their staterooms to come up for the snacks and took them back. And then finally, another great feature of the cabins is AMA uses the Apple TVs or monitors, and they stream current movies on there as well that you can get. So if you just want to relax a bit while you're cruising, or you want some downtime because you are going on a lot of excursions and coming back to the ship, and then you go out and explore on your own sometimes, or other times you're sailing. So there's a few times where April and I just wanted to hang out in the cabin for an hour and relax and watch a TV show or listen to some music. So you have that as well. But whether you want to do the after lunch active walk with the wellness director, or if you're looking to do biking or take a bike out on your own, AMA will help you across the board. It's one of those things where if you want to do something on your own, you want to do a private tour somewhere else that they're not going, they can help assist you finding the right tour. Of course, we as your travel advisor can do that for you as well. But we always advise that you go on them because you're already paying for it as part of the cruise fare, and they're amazing. You get a lot of great history. You get to see some amazing sites. You get to go into these amazing cathedrals, amazing things you see. Like Budapest is probably now in our top 5 list of favorite cities in Europe. It is just absolutely amazing to explore. And a final question I get a lot is, should I come in the day before a cruise? And we always say, even an ocean cruise or river cruise, you should always come in the day before. One, for jet lag, especially if you're coming from US to Europe. But secondly, you want to explore the city ahead of time if you're not doing the pre-cruise trip that AMA offers. And it gives you a chance to get in if there's any delays with your flights, things of that nature. You won't miss your ship, hopefully. And we had someone miss their bags, and it got on the ship the same day we left because they came in 2 days early. So those are really the top questions, was like, you know, are there food restrictions that if I have a food restriction, AMA will take care of you, no problem. We can select it at booking or anytime after that. Even on board, they always ask, are you allergic to anything? Is there anything on the menu? Chef's table, perfect example. They were serving one fish that I just don't like. I've had it, and I'm not a big fishy fish person. And so the chef, I caught him that morning and asked, is there any way I can substitute out that one piece of fish that you do? And he goes, yeah, I've got dory, and it's a light fish. I think you'll like it if you like cod. And I said, great. So I got my piece of dory. It was absolutely fabulous with like 12 hours notice. So the level of service AMA does, from the food to the excursions to just being on board and feeling like family. We actually felt like we were family. We were actually sad when we left because we were kind of wishing we were doing a back-to-back cruise just because we enjoyed it so much.
There you go. Very good. Those are all great points, Mike, and I'm glad you brought those up. All fantastic. And unless you have something else, I don't know that I do. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to spend a little bit of time with you this evening and share who I'm, a little bit of our story. We really look forward to welcoming you back in April, and certainly your group. And again, we're happy to throw in a little bit from our end as well to maybe sweeten the pot for those that might be looking to join you.
Well, appreciate it. And I want to thank everyone for joining us. Thank you so much to Rob taking the time out to join us and co-host this presentation. And if you guys are looking to do any river cruising, like to work with Sea and Sun, our contact information will be in the description of this video, as well as our email and all of our social media accounts as well that you can reach us through. And with that, I hope whether you're watching this morning, afternoon, or evening, I wish you a guten Abend or guten Nacht. And I hope we talk to everyone soon. Thank you so much.